Hey good people, it's been a while since we had our step family living question and answer segment, and it's because the questions are getting less and less. If there is any question that you sent me and I have not looked into it, kindly send it to me or send a reminder. I'll get back to you and do a video on it. If at all you have any question that you need me to answer on step family living, also don't forget to send it to me and I'll do a video for you too, anonymously. Otherwise, I'm hoping that you're still keeping safe, keeping sane, keeping strong during these uncertain times, because the pandemic is not yet over. Today, let's go ahead and continue with our step family question and answer segment. As usual, allow me to read. Hi Jackie, I am not sure whether this fits into your step family question and answer segment, but I hope it does. Now, the fact that we are doing it, it means that it fits. So the question begins. I am obsessed with my husband's late wife. I have tried everything to make myself be myself, but it fails me big time. My obsession is a competitive one. I try hard to be better than her and do things better than her all the time. And I think all this started because my hubby confided to me that they were about to break up before the late wife died. Let me give you my background story, just a bit of it. My husband and I were colleagues and best friends, worked together for several years before he became a widower. So during this time, we used to confide to each other about relationships and about many things on life lessons. The other significant thing that happened is that I gave birth to our child on her death anniversary date. These feelings of obsession and competitiveness intensified, and I visited her social media accounts, trying to understand who she was, literally stalking a dead person. I know this is not healthy, but how do I overcome this in my life? I wonder, is this obsession out of guilt, or what is it about? How do I fight it? To begin this, I want to thank you so much for sharing this question with us. And I know it was not easy for you to do this. I know there are so many other people who might be feeling the same way you're feeling, but do not have the courage to just put it in writing, even anonymously, to share a question like this. So thank you, because I know this question is going to bring a lot of things into clarity. One of the major things that comes out from this question is that step families are different. The challenges that a couple that was married after a divorce face and a couple that was married after a death of a spouse face, they are totally different challenges. And your question actually brings it out clearly. So a few things that I will say to you to support you in this journey. So the first thing I would want to share with you is that the path that you have chosen is a self-defeating path. Why? Because number one, you are not a substitute of your husband's late wife. Neither are you her competition. But from the question, you have actually made your husband's late wife a competition to you. That is why you need to outdo her, outshine her, and out everything her. In the African society, mostly we don't talk ill of the dead. I can imagine everything that is said about your husband's late wife mostly will be positive, and she was nice, she was all this. And maybe that is why you feel like you should be competing with her, but you shouldn't. She is not your competition. And if you compete with her, I don't know how you're gonna win, or how will you know you have won. You are not her substitute either, such that you want to do exactly what she used to do, but just do it better than her. That is not your role, that's not your job, and that is not also what God created you to do or to be. So, point number 1, please know that you're not your husband's late wife substitute, neither is she your competition. The second point that comes out that I would want to share with you, and I hope it supports you through this journey, is when you use the word obsession. Obsession is deep. So let me just read a quote on obsession. I hope this quote will give you some clarity. Obsession is the single most wasteful human activity, because with an obsession, you keep coming back and back and back and back to the same question and never getting an answer. So, kindly answer me this. How will you know that now you have become better than her? How will you know you have reached your peak of this competition or as her substitute? And when you do, if at all that is possible, when you do become better than her, then what? And this next question that I'd want you to think about is, how do you know what she will do for her kids or her family, or what she wanted for her journey in this family in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, so that you become better than her? How do you know where her journey was going to be and what she wanted to do for her family and her kids? You don't know that. And the final question, which I think is more important, is when will you start showing up for yourself? When will you start living life for you? What are the dreams you had for a family? I'm sure your dreams for a family, your dreams as a mother, your dreams as a wife were not pegged on the dreams of another woman. What she was as a family, what she was in her family, or what she was as a wife, or what she was as a mother. You had your own dreams. What has happened to those dreams? What happens to those dreams? Do you just bury them? So basically what I'm saying to you is that why you're feeling frustrated right now, why you're feeling overwhelmed right now, it's because you are not living life for yourself. You're not living your authentic life. You are trying to live somebody else's life. You can never win as an imposter or a substitute. You are a masterpiece on your own, but now you want to live as a copy of somebody else. You cannot win at that game. If you have made your husband's late wife the competition, you have made her or made yourself her substitute, then that means you have made yourself a copy. And as a copy, I don't think you can ever win and become better than the original. But on the other hand, you have abandoned your journey as a masterpiece. So that lies dead and dormant, and you do not show up for yourself. You've not shown up for your authentic life. You've not shown up for the things that you dreamt of. So that also becomes dead. And then at the end of the day, you feel like you have nothing, and you feel like the journey is so frustrating, and you feel like there's nowhere you're going. But it's because of the path that you have chosen. Lastly, what I'd advise you to do is to seek for a counselor or a coach to support you through this journey. Because honestly, I do not know where the insecurity is coming from. When you find yourself comparing yourself so much on another person's life or with another person's life that you find it difficult, like you put it in your question, to actually be yourself. You have found it difficult to be yourself. It means you need somebody to walk with you in the journey of finding yourself. And that's okay. Get support to finding yourself. I don't know where that insecurity is coming from. I don't know if the words that your husband is using are making you feel inadequate, or the words the kids are using, the society, or it is coming from yourself. So no matter where the avenue is, if you find a coach, if you find a counselor, or find somebody who can walk with you in this path, then find yourself and show up as yourself. Because when you show up as an imposter, you will always feel like you have not hit the mark, and you will always feel inadequate.